You've been told fish is healthy, and for the most part, it is. High in omega-3s, great for the heart, easy to digest. But here's the truth few people talk about, especially with seniors. Not all fish are created equal, and some of the most popular fish in the grocery store can quietly damage your brain, raise your blood pressure, hurt your kidneys, or even accelerate aging, especially after 60, when your body becomes more sensitive to toxins, heavy metals, and inflammation. Eating the wrong fish can do more harm than good, and yet, many older adults still eat these fish every single week, believing they're making the healthy choice. In this video, you'll learn the 6 fish older adults should avoid completely, and why. The science behind mercury, PCBs, parasites, and overfarming risks, safer, senior-friendly alternatives to enjoy instead, because your body now is not the same as it was at 40, and what nourished you then may slowly be hurting you now. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness and choosing better for the body that still has many beautiful years ahead. Fish number 1, king mackerel, high in mercury, hard on the brain. King mackerel, sometimes called Spanish mackerel or kingfish, is a sleek silver beauty found in warm waters like the Gulf of Mexico and the southern Atlantic. It's oily, flavorful, and popular in grilled dishes. But here's the hidden danger. King mackerel is one of the highest mercury fish in the world, and mercury, even in small amounts, can be toxic to the aging brain, nervous system, and heart. Why mercury is more dangerous after 60. As we age, our body's ability to detoxify slows down. Liver and kidney function decline gradually. Brain tissue becomes more sensitive to oxidative stress, and once mercury enters your bloodstream, usually through fish, it can cross the blood-brain barrier, damage memory, focus, and mood, contribute to tremors or nerve pain, disrupt blood pressure and heartbeat regulation. Long-term exposure to mercury has even been linked to higher risk of Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. For younger people, small doses may not build up fast, but in seniors, where systems are slower, mercury accumulates quietly. King mackerel are large, long-living predators. That means they eat smaller fish and absorb their mercury, live long enough to accumulate dangerous levels of toxins, are often farmed or caught in polluted waters. The US FDA and EPA both list king mackerel as do not eat for pregnant women, children, and yes, older adults with heart, kidney, or neurological conditions. Common mistakes seniors make: confusing king mackerel with Atlantic mackerel, which is much safer, eating it because it's oily and high in omega-3, believing that cooking removes mercury. It doesn't. Mercury is not destroyed by heat. Grilling, baking, steaming, none of it removes the risk. What to eat instead? Choose Atlantic mackerel or Pacific chub mackerel instead. They're smaller, lower in mercury, and still full of healthy fats. Other safe alternatives include sardines, tiny, low in toxins and rich in calcium, wild-caught salmon, rainbow trout, anchovies. These fish are gentler on the aging body, supporting heart health and brain clarity without toxic buildup. Fish should nourish you, not quietly harm you. The older we get, the more we must eat with memory in mind, not just taste, not just tradition. So before you reach for that king mackerel fillet, ask yourself, is this fueling my future or clouding it? Choose wisely, because the sea offers many gifts, but not all of them are meant for every season of life. Fish number 2, tilefish from the Gulf of Mexico, a hidden mercury bomb. Tilefish may not be as well known as salmon or tuna, but if you've ever ordered a seafood special in a restaurant, grilled, flaky, buttery, you might have eaten it without realizing, and that's where the risk begins. Tilefish from the Gulf of Mexico is among the most mercury-contaminated fish in U.S. waters, often ranking even higher than shark or swordfish. It doesn't look dangerous. It doesn't taste dangerous, but for older adults, especially those with heart, brain, or kidney concerns, this is a fish to avoid at all costs. Why tilefish is so dangerous for seniors. Tilefish are deep water dwellers that live long and grow large, and in doing so, they absorb high levels of methyl mercury, the most toxic form, industrial pollutants from oil drilling and agricultural runoff in the Gulf, persistent organic compounds, POPs, that damage human cells. When seniors consume mercury-rich fish like tilefish, they risk worsening of memory loss or confusion, muscle tremors and hand shakiness, elevated blood pressure, and heart arrhythmias. Kidney overload, especially in those already on medication. Tilefish caught in the Gulf of Mexico are not the same as tilefish from other regions. Due to oil drilling, chemical waste, and outdated environmental protections, the Gulf has been called one of the most contaminated fishing zones in North America. In fact, DA explicitly recommends that older adults, pregnant women, and children avoid tilefish from the Gulf altogether. Unfortunately, most menus and markets don't tell you where the tilefish came from, and that makes this fish a silent risk. Common mistakes seniors make. Assuming all white fish are mild and healthy, ordering tilefish at restaurants without realizing, thinking mercury can be cooked out, it cannot. Believing that a light taste means low in toxins, it doesn't. Craving a light, flaky white fish? These are safer, senior-friendly alternatives. Cod, low in mercury, easy to digest, full of lean protein. Haddock, gentle flavor, great for baking or broiling. Wild-caught Alaskan pollock, the fish used in many healthy fish sticks. Tilapia, U.S. farmed, low in toxins if responsibly sourced. These options offer the benefits of seafood without the quiet risks that come from deep-water predators like tilefish. Just because something is mild in flavor doesn't mean it's mild on your system. At this stage in life, eating well means going deeper than taste. It means listening to the science behind what your plate is really holding. So the next time you see tilefish on a menu, pause. Choose something kinder to your brain, your heart, your future. Fish number 3, farmed salmon, especially from overseas. A beautiful fish hiding toxic secrets. Salmon is often seen as the gold standard of healthy eating, and in many ways that's true if it's wild caught. But here's where things become dangerously misleading. Not all salmon is created equal, and farmed salmon, especially imported from countries like Chile, Norway, or China, can quietly harm older adults in ways most people don't suspect. It looks pink, it tastes rich, but the truth behind it is anything but clean. Why farmed salmon is risky for seniors. Farmed salmon are raised in crowded cages, fed with processed pellets, and often injected with artificial coloring to make their flesh look naturally pink. But that pink comes at a cost. Farmed salmon, particularly those raised in poorly regulated countries, often contain high levels of dioxins and PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyls, toxic industrial chemicals linked to cancer, hormonal disruption, and inflammation. Antibiotics and pesticides used in fish farms to control disease outbreaks. Omega-6 fatty acids, inflammatory, instead of omega-3s due to unnatural feed. Heavy metals and microplastics depending on water source and location. For older adults, these risks can quietly lead to chronic inflammation linked to arthritis, Alzheimer's, heart disease, immune system imbalance, fatigue, skin issues, and digestive discomfort. Long-term toxic buildup, especially in the liver and brain. In the US, packaging only needs to say salmon or Atlantic salmon, and most Atlantic salmon sold in stores is farmed. It may say product of Chile or Norway, but few people notice. And even in some restaurants or healthy food chains, the salmon served is farmed unless it clearly says wild caught. Common mistakes seniors make: buying salmon on sale without checking its source, believing that all salmon is heart healthy, thinking cooking or grilling removes toxins. It doesn't. Assuming frozen salmon is always wild, it's not. If you love salmon, you don't have to give it up. Just choose better. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon like sockeye, coho, or king, sustainably fished, naturally rich in omega-3s. Canned wild salmon, often labeled and sourced more clearly Arctic char, a safer alternative with similar texture and taste. Rainbow trout, U.S. farmed, low in contaminants, high in nutrients. These choices are gentler on the aging body, supporting brain, heart, and joint health without long-term toxic load. The older we get, the more we must eat with intention, not assumption. Don't let a pretty pink fillet fool you. Don't let a healthy label blind you. You deserve food that not only tastes good, but respects your years and nourishes your next ones. Choose fish that feeds your strength, not fish that quietly steals it away. Fish number 4, shark, a predator fish that should never be on a senior's plate. Shark meat may sound exotic, adventurous, something you might try once on vacation or see listed as a delicacy at certain seafood spots. But behind the tough texture and bold name lies something far more dangerous. Shark meat contains some of the highest mercury levels of any fish in the world. And for older adults, that's not just a health risk, it's a health threat. Why shark meat is so toxic for seniors. Sharks are top predators in the ocean. They live long lives, often 25 to 50 years, and over time, they absorb everything from mercury, lead, arsenic, industrial pollutants, even microplastics. Because sharks eat smaller fish that have already accumulated toxins, these harmful compounds multiply in their flesh, a process called biomagnification. The result? Shark meat often contains mercury levels 5 to 10 times higher than safe limits. And mercury is especially dangerous to the aging brain, nervous system, and kidneys. For those over 60, the consequences of consuming shark can include increased risk of memory decline and confusion, exacerbated tremors, numbness, or tingling in the hands and feet, worsening of blood pressure regulation, greater strain on the kidneys and liver, which process toxins more slowly with age, weakened immune function over time. And the worst part, mercury builds up in the body, slowly, silently, and permanently. There is no way to cook it out, no way to make shark meat safe for aging bodies. Common mistakes seniors make. Trying shark just once as a novelty food, thinking it's high in protein and strong for bones. Being unaware that canned or dried fish labeled as flake or rock salmon may actually be shark. Many cultures or menus hide shark behind other names, making it even easier to consume unknowingly. If you're looking for firm, meaty fish that feels satisfying but doesn't bring toxic baggage, try wild-caught salmon, hearty, brain-boosting, low in contaminants; U.S. farmed rainbow trout, firm texture, mild flavor; mahi-mahi, moderate mercury but far safer than shark; pollock or cod, great for grilling or pan-searing, gentle on the system. These fish give you the nutrition and texture without turning your body into a toxin sponge. Just because something is powerful in nature doesn't mean it's powerful in healing. The ocean's predators weren't meant to become daily food, especially for those of us with decades behind us and even more to protect ahead. Your mind is precious. Your organs are wise but tender. Let's choose foods that help them stay that way. Fish number 5, swordfish, a striking fish with a hidden strike to your nervous system. Swordfish is a powerful, majestic creature, long, lean, and fast. Its meat is dense, rich, and often served as a premium steak on seafood menus. But for older adults, swordfish is a silent saboteur. It's one of the most mercury-contaminated fish on Earth, and a single serving can exceed safe weekly limits for seniors. Like shark and king mackerel, swordfish are top-level predators that feed on smaller fish over a long lifespan. This means they accumulate mercury, dioxins, and other toxins at levels that are dangerous, even for healthy adults. For seniors, the risks increase significantly due to slower metabolism and detox pathways, age-related kidney and liver function decline, increased sensitivity to neurological toxins. Mercury affects the nervous system most directly, and after 60, your nerves are already more fragile, more vulnerable to damage. Consuming swordfish regularly, or even once in large amounts, can increase risk of memory loss and confusion, dizziness, fatigue, and headaches, hand tremors or coordination problems, numbness or tingling in feet and fingers, increased chance of nerve inflammation and brain fog. It can also worsen symptoms in those with Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, neuropathy, cardiovascular disease, chronic kidney issues. And since mercury accumulates in brain and fatty tissue, damage often appears slowly, months or even years later. Common mistakes seniors make: ordering swordfish steak thinking it's lean protein, choosing it at seafood buffets without knowing the risk, believing that fresh swordfish is safer, but freshness does not reduce mercury. Even wild-caught or organic labeled swordfish can still carry extreme levels of mercury. If you enjoy thick, steak-like fish cuts, try these options instead. Mahi-mahi, moderate mercury, but safer if eaten occasionally. Wild-caught salmon, especially sockeye, rich, satisfying, and brain-healthy. Halibut, firmer than most whitefish, lower in mercury if eaten in moderation. Rainbow trout, flaky but dense enough for grilling. All provide satisfying texture and flavor without long-term neurological damage. Swordfish looks strong, but when it enters the body, it doesn't bring strength, it brings strain. The older we grow, the more we must choose foods not for their image, but for how they treat us, support us, and protect us. Because this isn't just about eating safely, it's about living with clarity, with steadiness, with the brain and nerves that still have stories to share. Fish number 6, imported catfish, especially from Asia. Cheap doesn't mean safe. Catfish is popular. It's affordable, easy to fry, and served across many cultures, especially in comfort dishes that remind us of home. But here's what most people, especially seniors, don't realize. Not all catfish is the same. And catfish imported from countries like Vietnam or China often contains drug residues, harmful chemicals, and farming contaminants that pose real risks to aging bodies. Why imported catfish is dangerous for seniors. In countries with weak food safety regulations, farmed catfish are often raised in overcrowded ponds, fed low quality feed, and treated with antibiotics banned in the US, pesticides and antifungals to reduce disease outbreaks, growth hormones to increase size before export, dirty water contaminated with heavy metals and industrial waste. For seniors whose immune systems are more fragile and organs slower to detox, these chemicals don't just pass through, they can build up and quietly damage the liver, already working harder with age, the kidneys, slower to process synthetic substances, the immune system, increased risk of infection, inflammation, hormonal balance, interference with natural endocrine function. Most frozen catfish fillets at supermarkets don't clearly label their country of origin. Even in restaurants, when you order catfish, you may be served basa, a cheaper imported cousin of catfish from Vietnam, or pangasius, both of which are often raised in poorly regulated high-risk conditions. And because they're cheaper, many places use them by default, unless you specifically ask. Common mistakes seniors make: buying frozen catfish without checking its origin, believing all catfish are local or farmed safely, choosing it because it's soft and easy to chew, without realizing its chemical content, assuming frying kills contaminants, but frying doesn't remove drug residues or toxins. If you enjoy the soft texture and familiar flavor of catfish, consider these instead. U.S. farmed catfish raised under stricter safety guidelines. Tilapia, U.S. sourced, mild, affordable, and safer when properly farmed. Wild-caught cod or flounder, light, flaky, and easy on digestion. Rainbow trout, freshwater fish with excellent safety profile. Look for packaging that says, product of USA or farm raised in U.S. waters. This small check can make a big difference to your health. We often reach for comfort foods because they feel like home, but comfort must never come at the cost of our health. You deserve nourishment that is both familiar and safe. That brings back good memories without creating future harm. Your years have earned you the right to eat, not just wisely, but honorably. So next time you see catfish in the freezer aisle, pause, flip the package, and ask, where did this come from, and what will it bring into me? We've been taught that fish is healthy, that it's heart smart, brain boosting, and perfect for aging bodies. And that's often true, but not always, because some fish, no matter how tasty, affordable, or popular, carry hidden risks that your body can no longer afford to ignore. At this stage of life, you don't just eat to survive. You eat to stay clear, calm, strong, and steady. And that means choosing fish that heal, not harm. Avoid the big predators: shark, swordfish, king mackerel. Watch for hidden toxins, imported catfish, farmed salmon. Steer clear of mercury giants like tilefish. Read the label. Ask where it comes from. Choose quality over price. Your organs have served you for decades. Now it's time to serve them back with care, wisdom, and protection. If this video helped you feel more informed and empowered, please like this video. It helps YouTube share it with other seniors who may need it too. Subscribe to True Senior Wisdom for weekly guidance on aging with strength, clarity, and kindness. In the comments, share with us, which fish surprised you the most? What safe fish do you love, and how do you prepare it? Because here we don't just grow older, we grow wiser, we grow gentler with ourselves, and we choose meals that honor the years behind us and protect the years still ahead.